And we are live. Hey everyone, hope everyone's doing good after the Thanksgiving dinner and spending time quality with your family. So Matt, here you are again with this little champ. Hey there, say hi.
Hi.
Hi, say hi. Cool. So Matt,
Hello.
thanks for joining in. Early morning Saturday for you. So Joey
Two kids in
was
the
also supposed to join us, but yeah, probably he might join a little later. Let's see. So what's going?
Hey, what's going? No, home alone with the kids on Saturday morning. Oh. Hey.
I can totally understand.
Looks like we got both of them on. So I don't know what to do.
Yeah, get them on, get them on.
Oh.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Okay,
What?
looks like so.
Be a handful this stream, that's for sure. Witness.
Okay,
Trying it.
I know. All right, so just a casual chat up and what's going on around Jetstar and exactly about the game of Cred Runner, which you have completely made from your end. I'm going to speak about that. That is what the entire episode is all about. I did a video on Stardom, but I did not mention Cred Runner specifically because I wanted to give you that extra credit, mainly for the efforts that you put in, as well as the amount of credit actually deserves, in my opinion, because that's a game which is next level for me. Being a very casual and hyper casual game, and that's something that you have built. It's quite fun, addictive, and it's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and speak about Cred Runner a little later. But first and foremost, I mean, Jet is in the migration phase. Cred is also in the migration phase towards Polygon. What's your thought as a community member, if I can ask? What's your thought on this moment now?
I think
He answered that for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. He said you're moving to the stars.
Honestly, I'm looking forward to the migration being finished, and I think we picked the perfect timing. They picked the perfect timing to switch to Polygon. To be honest, like there's so much going for that network right now. It's kind of crazy to be on board with them, I suppose. Hey, leave that alone. Yeah. I mean, other than that, I'm just in the sidelines, just like you, waiting, and watching, and getting excited about it. So, you opened up the calendar. What are you trying to do? How'd you even do that? I can't even do it.
I think he's aiming at that migration date now.
Yeah.
He might be probably choosing the migration date.
Yeah, let's see what date he picked. He picked.
Pick a date and we will just suggest it to Josh.
No way.
Oh, you're gonna say that one? You're gonna pick 2? Oh, your brother wants to go lower.
No, I want to pick 1.
You want 1?
Yeah, first, then 2.
That's your prediction, the first?
Yeah.
Oh no. There's news on the 30th about it. You think it'll be the first?
Yes.
I don't think it will be.
No.
No. Oh, what do you do? Everything's minimized. There we go.
Okay, what was the date that you picked?
I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna let my kids predict. Keaton picks the first. He's probably wrong.
December.
Yeah, he's saying the first, and I'm saying he's wrong. But that's fine. We'll go with what he said. What?
Okay. What does he say?
Okay. Kids down. He's gonna yell at me, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Keaton, go entertain your brother.
Yeah. I want.
Go grab the Hot Wheels with your brother, okay? Go play. Go.
I want what?
You can watch. Okay, that's fine.
Cool. So they might be right choosing December 1st. They might be. I'm just quoting because Josh has planned a big VC with a lot of announcements and updates on 30th of November. That's next Wednesday. So we don't know. I mean, we have been getting a lot of surprises lately. So it might be a surprise drop as well on December. You never. But yeah, let's see. Fingers crossed.
My guess would be earliest. Earliest would be on that Friday, not that Thursday. But it seems like a lot of things happen on
probably.
Fridays.
But yeah, let's see. It's just our speculation, but anything can
Oh,
happen,
yeah.
and anything is possible.
It's 100% speculation because we know exactly what
Now-
everybody else thinks. Nothing.
Okay, so what are your thoughts of Stardome? I mean, being a gamer yourself, how would you see Stardome as? What are your thoughts on Stardome and the games that are there, apart from Cred Runner, the regular games from Skill Gaming that are actually existing? What do you think?
There's some fun, addicting games on there, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite part of Cred Runner isn't necessarily the games, but the overall like function of Cred Runner. Stardome. Stop playing with me. Seriously, go entertain your brother. Okay? Go. Because go entertain your brother. He's not in a room, and somebody has to watch him. I'm not a good parent, so I'm not watching him.
Oh, come on, you're the best dad.
No, that's my favorite part about Stardome, honestly, is like the little things that they add into it that kind of integrate with every game. Like, well, first off, you've got your competitions that last 24 hours that anybody can join, and it's like whoever gets the best score, right? But so who knows when you can get beat, and it kind of like averages everything out. Or you can throw you can buy stuff that actually affect the other player. So if you know somebody's playing, you think they're going to do better than you, you can actually send them like something that messes with their screen or resets their browser, like refreshes their browser and completely ruins their if you really want to. Oh yeah. Yeah.
All right. So coming down to Cred Runner, why did you get this idea of building a spaceship runner in the first place?
Well, I was originally in Cred Runner the way it is now wasn't actually the direction it was supposed to be going. So one thing I can say is that if you're going to be building something for a specific platform, find out what limitations there are, like on what because my original idea was to have a 24-hour race where you can everybody races the same map, and then every 24 hours it switches maps. But it was also time based. You can get through it in the quickest time. So none of that stuff was really supported. Right?
Okay.
So they didn't everything is point based. Everything in Stardome appears to be like there needs to be some kind of a point that comes out of it. So time isn't really considered a point.
Correct.
Right? Usually,
it was more of a time
system set up too is the highest of a thing, right? So when it comes to a time-based kind of race thing, you don't really want the highest time to be the winner.
Right.
So that kind of hit me with a little curveball. I was a little bit into development at that point. I already had like the generation, like the procedural generation started at that point based off of that idea. But I had to take a quick U-turn on that one when I was talking to Stardome, those people at Skill Gaming. Don't turn that off. That's the cooling of my laptop. And so then I had to rethink how I was doing it. They also didn't like the idea of having one. They didn't think it was a good idea to have one map that everybody plays for 24 hours when it came to competitions and stuff like that, because somebody would try to essentially only compete when the map suits them, essentially, right? So then you're potentially missing out on a lot of people actually wanting to join the competitions because they'd only join the ones that have the right seed for the day. Hey, come on, please go to entertain your brother. Please. Yes. So there was a lot of things like that. So then I had to figure out how am I going to do my idea, still kind of keeping the same idea, but the randomness for every round wasn't an issue. I just generate a random seed every time. Not the end of the world. And then it came to the scoring. How can I score this? So that way it made sense, still drove people to kind of always push a little bit more and kind of make people so that they're not just going really slow through the whole thing just to clear the most amount of gates, right? Because then you're slowing down the gameplay. You're taking a lot of the potential challenge out of it. So then I came up with the idea that I'll make it so there's only so much time once you clear a gate to get to the next one to get a point, to get any kind of points.
Mm-hmm.
So the faster you clear a gate, the more points you're going to get. So that led to the whole point system kind of building up from there. So yeah, so then you've now got the gate count that which still tracks. It's not really used as a score anymore. It's just
Mm-hmm.
like a kind of a little stat that you can go through. Plus, it was also originally going to be an unlimited amount of gates and just see how far you can go.
Mm-hmm.
But that kind of took a little bit away from the potential competitiveness that I wanted to go with it. So then I picked
Mm-hmm.
I was going to do a fixed amount of gates at that point. So now you have a combination of time to get through gates, but you only have so many gates to get through to acquire like that high score, right?
Right.
So now I'm throwing in a whole bunch of different elements to kind of push people to constantly try and push themselves to get through and not just go through comfortably. If you go through comfortably, you might clear all the gates, but you're also going to have
Mm-hmm.
potentially one of the lower ends of the score, right?
Right. Because of the time you spent on clearing those gates.
And somebody might get through enough gates, not finish all the gates, but they might get through enough gates quick enough to be above your
Mhm.
score, and you had to clear all of the gates just to get that score. So it's a whole lot of things. And then you're at the mercy. I know you're kind of at the mercy too. There's a little bit of a
Mhm.
it's out of your control is the seed that you happen to get, because the seed is what drives the positioning of the gates, the distances from each other, their locations, how close, what direction you got to go from one gate to the other. The placement of it's not plugged in. The placement of the asteroids too. It's all driven by that one
Right.
that one number. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not.
So,
plugged
I
in.
mean,
Turn it on.
That's a pretty extensive thought in terms of building a game which is suitable for the platform, because Skill Gaming platform was what they were building for Stardome. It was more of a point-based system, and now you had a time-based run that you had initially had in your mind, and you have to convert that. And this is the kind of thought that you need to actually think of in terms of changing the entire gameplay itself to ensure that you bring it to the point system. So we all know, okay, it's a simple game. It's just a kind of a runner game, and you just need to clear gates within small amount of time. But what are the difficulties that you did face by building this game? Because this is a game that you have built it from scratch. It's not just kind of a reskin that you see with other games. This is something that you have done from ground zero, right? So you have had multiple iterations. I've also tested it from my end on multiple iterations, and special mention here, which we will do a little later once we get on to the game and a little more details, to that particular person who broke the game, right? Many times over and over. So I mean, what exactly were the difficulties? In fact,
I'll answer that in a second. You can't turn it on. It's
Sure.
not plugged in, okay?
in the meantime, Dinko, thanks for joining us.
Yeah. So sorry, what was the last end of that question there?
I was asking more of what was the difficulty. I can understand the difficulty of building a game is much easier for you than difficulty of managing your children there.
Yeah. Well, the most difficult part was honestly just making all the systems work together. All the
Awesome.
systems I built kind of were kind of working great on their own, but when you started throwing them all
Mhm.
together, you start to see the problems and the holes that get generated, because now you've got all these other systems that have to work together, and that was
Mhm.
that's one of the harder things, is to kind of make everything kind of work, and then also make things work as well, like because you're going really fast in this game. I'm not slowing you down for the sake, like when you look like you're going fast, you're going fast. Keaton, please.
I want to see it go up.
It's daytime. You're not going to see it, okay? Go play with your brother.
Put this in. We put this
Hey.
in.
Stop like no. leave
Welcome,
the
Travis. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, it's a little chaotic here. I know. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We play
But
this.
yeah, so like I was saying, so all those kind of working together. Like for instance, the fact you're going really quick, right? So now and you're passing through a gate. So I gotta make sure that you register through every single gate. Right. Also, I realized too that if you pass a gate, you were able to come back through the other side, or you're able to kind of come down in the front of it, and it was considering it a clear because it was how the gate was set up. It was only like one collision,
Ah,
one kind of
okay.
one kind of trigger volume that you kind of go through, and you can hit it from any direction from.
Right.
And
Got it.
I was
It
like,
it was
well,
kind of an area which you just need to be near, so it
Yeah.
registers as a pass. Okay.
Yeah. So I need it to be Keaton, please. You can't turn it on.
I tried.
No, you can try it. Go ahead. It's not going to work. Yeah. So then I had to like think about how can I make it so that way, no matter how fast you were going, you'd be able to register passing through these things. And it's like, well, then I have to have two colliders now at this point. And then how do I make it so it's a whole bunch of things that kind of I have to solve as I kind of go, and make everything work. And then once I think everything's kind of going good, then I got to get people to test it. And
Right.
when you get even just one other person, pie height, you realize that they're gonna do things obviously that you don't do. And I know this isn't new to me. I've been programming Unity stuff for the last 16 years. It's my career, like
Wow.
on the side. But it's my first casual, like hyper casual game. Everything I do isn't really. It can be. It's a game because it's done in an engine, but it's directed towards serious game like training stuff like that. So there's no you're not going to be flying a tank through space, right? So it's a completely different kind of development and feeling, and it's to me, I find it more enjoyable to do something like one of these casual games or an actual game than something for the military essentially.
Got it.
So you have more freedom to do whatever you want. Hi. You want to join again? Okay, just don't touch the keyboard.
Yeah.
No. So anyways, Pie got involved on the testing, and he kept running into these weird issues that I couldn't emulate on my end. And then I realized there were some flaws in just how things were being generated. It wasn't consistent anymore, and there was a whole lot of things that I had to kind of just like work on.
I choose day.
Ethan, you can't change the day with a calendar. You can't change the day. It needs to be Saturday today, okay?
How many press it?
I know.
Daddy's in a meeting, okay? Just whatever. You just move the mouse around. Just don't click it, okay? Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Oh, and also, yeah. So working on this as well is you got to work on these two schedules. So if they don't want you to work, you can't usually work because you got to do that. So I usually only have like a small window each day to kind of do stuff like this on my own because I have a family, and unfortunately for me, it's that I work in the aspect of my family's always first, especially my kids, except for today because obviously I'm letting them join me and annoy me on the stream, so it's all good.
Yep.
But I
Well,
work. So
those two
generally-
out there are actually your money makers in the future.
Yeah.
Know that.
Look at my eye. Are you making fun of my eye because of the scratch that I had? You're mean.
Oh, please.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah. So this is I should probably try to introduce these two. This is Keaton. How old are you, Keaton?
Hey, Keaton.
2.
No, you're not 2. Your brother's 2.
No,
almost 2.
3.
You're almost 6, silly.
No, 2.
Okay, whatever. He's a 2-year-old now.
Okay.
And this
So
one
I'll ask them.
He's the new one. He's the new member of the family.
His number
He's
He's
1.
just silently watching.
His number 1.
Yeah.
It's his first time. on camera.
For Christmas.
He's like,
So,
okay, I'm done.
Keaton, tell me, have you played Cred Runner?
You play it on Stardom, actually, and
Uh-huh.
it's half set up for mobile, but it's not going to work on mobile because the
Mhm.
controls aren't actually set up right. I was starting it
Right.
and I forgot to remove it when I sent it to them. So the interactions there, it just
Mhm.
doesn't work. It's not playable. It is to a little bit of degree, but you're not going to have a chance. Don't be clicking anything.
Hey, look.
Yeah, I know. I see that. Don't click anything. but yeah, so it's right now. For now, it's PC or Mac mouse and keyboard game. So I mean, if you have a mouse and
Mhm.
keyboard on your that you can plug into your mobile, and yet you can make it a mobile game at that point. But
Yeah.
it works. It works. It's been tested and it's fully playable on a mouse and keyboard on Stardom.
This
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Look at who just joined on the chat front.
Bye hype. Talking about you, Bye hype.
Okay. Thanks for hopping in. I mean, a special mention to Pi Hype, in fact, for breaking the game and making
Oh,
Matt
man.
furious and getting him back to the drawing board for not one time, 2 times, but multiple times down the lane.
Multiple times. If I could show you the chat log and the videos he sent me and the screenshots of how he
Yeah.
broke it. Like I said, he kept me on my toes. But because of him and because of all the other testers I got,
Yes.
you know, the game is actually it's stable. It runs well, and based
Mhm.
off of everybody's input, because it wasn't just me at this point. I took everybody that was testing their input on what they thought worked and didn't work, and I wasn't afraid to work with it. So there's lots of things that are changed because of input, like the flight mechanics. Like I went
Right.
through 3 completely different reworking of the flight mechanics before I found one that worked, because each one was just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. This one doesn't feel right. All right, this one feels good, but then it's like, oh, but then when you start doing this, it doesn't. It just kind of breaks. So then I originally was building it myself, like the flight part,
Mhm.
and it was doing pretty good. But then, like I said, it was hitting limitations really quick, and I only had so much time to work on it. So I found an asset that I eventually used, but it didn't do exactly what I needed to do. So obviously, you know, it's not. I made it do what I wanted it to do. So I went through and I modified the crap out of it, and then I got
Right.
exactly what I needed based off feedback from multiple people on how like the ship should feel when it's turning and how it should react and stuff. And so a much better game because of, you know, not being one of those developers that are like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. This is my game. You just don't understand. You don't like it. Too bad. No, I've always taken like feedback and worked with it, because you know, you don't live life in a bubble where I can build the game that I want, but nobody will play.
Absolutely right.
So-
And
So I
the thing that I want
that
to really
feedback.
mention, the thing
Thanks,
that I
bye.
really want to mention over
And
here,
everybody else.
you know, a lot of people think, okay, even though it's just a normal, simple game that is out there, you can just build it with all the particular tools that you have. It's just so easy to go ahead and build a game. And we have Thomas Middlehouse with us, saying hi to you and the kids. Hey, Thomas. So yeah, getting back to the concept of, you know, just getting a game done. You did mention about the thing of Unity assets and using them in your game. Yes, you have a lot of Unity assets that you can actually utilize. You do have a lot of assets with the movements and, like you said, the flight mechanics and stuff. But do they really work out to the way that you want them to work in a game that you're building? Like, you had that idea of having the flight mechanics, you know, built in your way that you wanted it to be flawless, and the way that you wanted it in terms of passing through the gates and stuff. So that's the requirement for you. But here, when it comes to the regular Unity assets which are available out there, it's just that, you know, you get the basic kind of a structure where, okay, you have an asset, you have a spaceship, you just have a flight path, and it just traverses through that. But that might not be what you need. Similar to another game, take for example a character, right? So you might have a character that is already existing, and the character jumps, runs, and moves around, but do you really want that particular character to jump the way that you want it to jump in your
Yeah.
game?
Yeah, there's
That's
no
something
asset
that you
out
need to
there.
go ahead and do that. It's a level of customization is required, which makes it your own asset. So your effort is always involved, apart from taking an asset, just putting it there and saying, yeah, I built a game.
Yeah,
So it's
no.
not that easy. Because I'll be honest, I've also been learning Blender. I've also started learning a little bit of Unity. I mean, thanks to you also, because you did help me a little on that. So I'm just running through, just to understand the mechanics and just to understand how it all works in the back end. So doing that, it's a pretty hefty job. It's not so easy. It's definitely not so easy.
Yeah, no. My opinion is don't be afraid to use what's going to save you time in the end. But always
Yeah.
don't just use what you get. Like, you got to do your own thing to it. You have to utilize it. So it's good to have shortcuts. It's good to have shortcuts. But if you don't need them, don't take them. But I mean, if you're running out of time, you're on a crunch, don't be afraid to use some help. There's no difference between
Exactly.
hiring someone to do it and using it. I mean,
Yeah.
it takes me hundreds of hours to build something, right? And then you can just,
Right.
all right, no more. I need to drink my coffee, and I can't do that with you on my lap.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. So what is it that you like the best in CredRunner after you've built it, after you have tested it, after you actually played it, the final end product?
1 second.
What is it that? Yeah, go ahead.
Let me see. Find the nail that fell, buds. Oh, I found it.
How was that? Where?
I had a nail on the floor. Keaton just ripped out the blind. It happens. It's only held
Yeah.
on by thin nails, so I mean it happens all the time. Everyone's up there, but I don't want the little kid to poke himself. Yeah,
Yeah, that's true. That's more important. All right. So I was just asking, what is it that you liked in the end product? Like after you completed building the game, after it was launched on Stardome, and then you played it as the end user, what did you like about the game? I mean, from a
It's the
developer's
fact that
perspective,
it's-
yes, it's your baby, but
I honestly like the fact that it's, to me now, in my opinion, I find it's easy to play. It's got very simple design, like controls. It's got like your typical first person like movement controls, WSAD, kind of forward, back, left, right, and then you got your typical lean on a flight game. You got to be able to roll, right? So it's got everything kind of all in one area. So it's simple to play, in my opinion. But with all the different kind of mechanics that are kind of thrown in, it's easy to play, but hard to be good at it. Right? So anybody can hop in and start playing and work their way up on gates. Like I can't even clear. I can't even beat my own game. I'm not saying
seriously,
like we've only had one person clear all 50 gates. Yeah.
hey, the other person is actually sitting in front of you.
No, is it? Where?
Yeah. Okay, come on. I did clear the gates, but you did not record the score.
You got all 50 gates?
Yep.
All right, we got 2 people on Stardome.
There you go. I don't know. I mean, whether it has registered my score over there because it, like I said, login issues.
Well, that sucks. You lost out on that one because, like I said, there's one
Yeah,
person
that's where I said.
Stardome.
Yeah,
I've come close.
if it's on paper, it's there. But if it's paper, you do see a lot many people. I think even PyHap has cleared it during the test phase.
Yeah, during the test phase, PyHype is the reason why it's at 50 gates. That was his highest.
Thomas Middlehouse doesn't believe
Thomas
me.
is still 3rd place on the leaderboard. He's just slacking. He's just not good enough.
Nah, it's the truth. It's the truth. I have just cleared it. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
No, I find it's fun to hop on and play. Honestly, it's a challenge because I'm always trying to like get farther and farther and farther. But I'm also one of those people who are like, I don't want to go slow. I want to go full out the entire time. So that way I can get the best score I can get. If I happen to get through all of it, I'm going to have a high score and people are going to have to challenge themselves to beat me. And then I realized that I can't actually play it that way. I gotta actually control my speed because I'm gonna go through a gate, and the next gate's gonna be right next to it, and I've got to somehow going like 2,000 meters per second, turn around real quick and get through that other gate without running out of fuel. Because you only have so much fuel. Then each gate replenishes.
That's also there, right?
But you've got your boost. But the thing is that other than you're rolling and you're moving on the mouse for direction, every other input adds to your fuel consumption. So like your boost drastically adds to your fuel consumption. So it's like you have this boost and it does refill. Once you get all the way through it, it refills in like 10 or 7 seconds, or maybe 15. I'm not 100% sure anymore. It's been a while since I worked on that part of it. But then you can also, there's also the aspect where you can use all your boost, but then if you pass close enough to an asteroid and don't hit it, then you get a small refill on your boost. So then if you can essentially go through, and if you get close to asteroids as you go, you can actually almost have a constant boost the entire time. You know, if you do it right.
Wow.
So there's little things that you can do that some people don't know about, and I'm not telling anybody. I just did, but there's nothing in the game that tells you fly close to an asteroid and you get a refill on some of your boost, or you know what I mean. But yeah, so it's like every input that you make, other than your mouse direction and your rolling, increases your fuel consumption. So it's like everything has you have to strategize everything. It's like, or you're not going to make it to the next gate. That was another problem that me and Pi Hype, I was able to emulate this one. Is that at one point, the numbers, the tweaking of the numbers stuff weren't right, and at some points it was impossible for you to get to the next gate because you'd run out of fuel first. So so things like that I don't account for at first, and it's like I have to figure out. So then I realized, maybe I shouldn't have gate spawns, or the fuel consumption is happening because every gate you go through actually slightly increases how much fuel you burn too. So it increases
because the speed of the ship also increases passing every gate.
Yeah, but it's not just the speed, because to be honest, like your fuel goes down based off of your throttle, not your speed. But the farther along, right, because you're going faster, what I do is I increase the amount of, essentially, I increase the amount of fuel you burn quicker. So as you're near the end, you're going to burn through fuel at a lot quicker pace, but it's going to be countered by how fast you're going. So you can you can screw yourself over by doing a boost at the wrong time, or doing too much additional movement to try and line yourself up for the next gate. And it's so there's a whole lot of micro strategies that kind of just evolved into it as all the pieces came together, and I thought that was pretty cool. I wasn't planning most of that, it just happened to be the way it was. So
wow, there you have it. I mean, for people listening in or watching this video after the live stream ended, just want to quote, even a small simple game of just a runner also has this much of complexity involved in the back end. So I mean, pretty good thought over there. I mean, even I was not aware about the asteroids passing. I mean, you pass close by to the asteroids and you get to a small refill. Probably I might have done it when I was playing it multiple times, and I haven't noticed it much, since the focus is more on passing the gates,
Oh, and then there's little things too, like Ryan said, what kind of drive people to kind of keep them in too. It's like little things like your score popping up when you go through a gate. You have a little pop up that shows how much points you got, but then also to drive people to the next gate and kind of tap into their little competitive side, is that each gate you see a number, like your score value, you see it constantly going down, right? So it starts at 1,000 points. So if you were to happen to go through a gate, a second, if it just somehow magically lined up where every gate was face to face next to each other the whole way, all 50 gates, then you could essentially get, that maximum score for each one.
Yeah.
But the likelihood of that ever happening is pretty much non-existent. It's just not possible. Oh, hey,
I mean, being a developer, I guess you can actually figure it out in terms of aligning all the gates in one single direction, right? So we just pass through them, forgetting the asteroids.
yeah.
You could do it for me now. Just build one specific game where, I mean, in Cred Runner, just one single instance or one single run where I could have all the gates lined up in a straight line and I just pass them through.
I'd be impressed.
And Thomas, yeah, thanks, buddy, for believing me, but I don't know. Let's just have a quick live check right now on how many gates each one of us can pass.
Yes.
Matt, are you up for it? Let's have a Cred Runner standoff.
Let's do it. Hang on, Jackson, can I?
So we are going to play Cred Runner live here on the stream. Matt is going to go with one run. I know. I'll leave you first because your screen is actually waiting, and after that I'll go. I don't know how well my PC would hold up.
Okay.
So that's where I'll give you the first chance. Yeah.
Can I try this real fast? I'm gonna do terrible because I've got some weight. Hey! No, don't.
You could ask him to play for you. I'm okay with that.
I don't think he can try. I mean, we're just gonna get an advantage. All right. Well, I'll wait for you to pop it up on your screen.
All right, here we go.
So this is Cred Runner running on Stardom.
Yeah. And before we begin, I forgot to mention one single thing over there. That small nifty detail, it gave a lot of value add, in my opinion. In fact, you hit that enter button. Go on.
Oh!
Yeah. Oh. Okay. You quit and reload then.
What's going on here? I lost everything. Hang on. I gotta bring everything back up.
Yeah.
Jackson? Sorry. All right. Well, I'll get to the menu after in a little bit. I'll do a quick run.
No problem. Yeah. You could do a quick run. Go on.
At the very beginning, you don't lose any fuel consumption by sitting there. But as you can see, like everything, it adds a little bit of consumption to it. So I'm gonna start my run now.
That's your WASD, right?
WSAD. Yeah, and Q.
Yeah.
E.
And Q and E are for the rolls. Yeah.
And then like R is to accelerate, F is to slow down. And then
Let's go.
Base is your boost.
And one more thing that I also remember when we were discussing about the initial build phases, you were also going ahead and ensuring that the width of the spaceship is exactly matching to that of the gate, right? So that's okay. I'll give you another chance.
Go to the main menu so we can try this again. I'm gonna put you down real quick. Oh,
yeah.
He's gonna yell at me, but okay. So you were saying, here we go.
Yeah, once you choose the spaceships, I mean, you have various spaceships available which you can actually choose. This is something that I really like. And especially the part where I was speaking of in terms of the wingspan, and because there were many other spaceship models initially when we were testing, right? So there were quite a lot. And you finalize these stuff mainly keeping in mind the wingspan or the size of the spaceship is playing a very vital role in terms of passing through the gates.
So they all perform the same, cool. But the shape of the ship, like you maybe like closing faster, but you have a wider span, right? So
right.
I like this one.
I mean, it gives you correct. And I think it's more of maneuvering the spaceship in terms of the rolls and stuff. Having a shorter wingspan will give you an added advantage as compared to one with a larger wingspan when you're using a lot of rolls.
Yeah. So this name right here, the SD22MC. It's actually Stardom 2022 Matt Cap. I stuck my name into there.
So when I'm building my own spaceship now.
Yeah. And here's a little story about the
this is the one that I wanted to mention, in fact.
Yeah, how it ties into the actual lore of
yes. Exactly.
This
particular small pit is something which I really love. That small addition.
Yeah. This is provided by Terry, who's the one responsible for the story and lore and stuff like that. So he came up with this idea on how it kind of. Hey, no pressure there, Thomas. Not nice. All right, here we go. I'm gonna do a quick attempt here.
All right.
So
go on.
You'll notice at the bottom here, belt 505636. That number is actually the seed.
Keeps changing.
Yeah, so that's the seed for this level.
Okay.
So if you have to see that number again, you're gonna have this exact same level.
Ah.
There's a lot of asteroids
Okay.
on this one.
So after playing a number of iterations, you get used to that particular location and stuff. So if you see that particular number, then boom, you're already in your comfort zone.
You'll never see that number again, most likely, because it's all random, and you're at the mercy of.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying you won't, but you see that number right there counting down. Only got 500 points for that. Let's see if I can get close here. There, see, got my little extra boost. Ooh.
That was quick. Boom.
Boom.
Okay, what's that? 7, right?
That's
Okay.
3,908.
Let's keep
Thomas, be nice to me, okay?
All right.
Seven
I'll
gates,
try to.
3,908
Okay.
points.
I might have some stuttering issues. Let me just. I don't know. We'll see. Share my screen. There you go. Is it up? Yeah.
Yep, it's up.
Okay.
Even if it stutters on our stream, it doesn't matter. The end is the result that we get out of it.
Yeah. I like Silver Volt. So go with Silver Volt. That's the lore again. Okay. What's my number now? 631743. Okay, cool.
What is that, Jackson? Thanks, bud.
Let's go.
There's apple juice all over the floor.
Woo. Oi.
Is it bad for you?
Yeah, a little. But I'll try.
Oh. I mean, I didn't make it that hard of a score for you to beat.
Ooh.
I'll get crushed by those.
Probably. I was just trying the boost part.
Come on, crash.
Okay.
Crash. Oh, those ones are clear. You're lucky. You don't have to fly through anything. Don't forget about your boost. There you go.
Ooh, I guess I crashed. No.
Use your throttle control.
Yep. Ah, there you go.
Nice.
Is it smooth? I mean, is it coming through smooth? Do you?
It comes
From
poppy
your
a little bit here and there, but I mean, it's definitely watchable.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Awesome.
It's on the other side of that rock. That was another thing too that was a pain, is getting it so the rocks didn't spawn or the gates didn't spawn inside of rocks.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun.
Nice. Yeah, you know what? Initial stages, I'll be honest, I sometimes used to go ahead and search through the gates. I mean, where are they even at? Ooh, crash.
Oh, look at all that cred just floating through space. That one just right past the screen. I like it.
All right, I beat your score. You want to go
You
another
did.
round?
You spanked me. All right, I'll do another run. I can't just let you get
Yeah,
away with
I'll
that.
give you a chance. Oh,
Did you try?
oh,
You're fine. Can you entertain your brother, please? Yeah. All right, let's try this again.
yep.
All right,
Crypto Joe's here.
I have to make this quick.
What does Thomas have to say now? Usually when comment pop up. Oh, yeah. I mean, sorry for my from my end. In fact, I mean it's my system. So I'll just add in your stream. All right, ready? 4874 is the score to beat.
What was your score?
That's 4874. Or let's go with the gates. 11 gates.
Hang on, I'm busy. I'll take a look at the car coming out in a bit.
I've already did that. I've already did that.
Ooh. I think it would crash to the gate. In fact.
Go gently through that gate. The spinning rocks are always the pain because you gotta.
Yeah, you need to be wary about the environment as well. It might turn. I've crashed multiple times. You know, when I was going too close to the asteroid and it just popped up. That pointy edge just popped up like this, and then it's like boom, gone.
Yes, buds.
Bring the white card here.
Nice. So I can go pay for it and they can take my money.
Ooh, you beat me now.
Throttle control. Boost to this one.
That's a faraway gate, in fact.
I almost
Now I saw the boost.
right into that rock.
Yeah, I saw the boost now. You were so close, so I saw the boost. It did fill up a pretty good amount, in fact. I mean, 2.5 bars, I believe. Come on, Matt, beat all the 50.
That'd be funny if I did. It'd be a first time, but
I know you can do it. Ah,
I'll take that one. 21 gates, almost half. What?
awesome. That's a really good run.
There, beat you. I couldn't let you win, but you got another try if you want.
Awesome. Yeah, nah, I'll do it a little later. Now I mean, on the stream, I think it's a bit difficult for me to go ahead and do it because of the frame drop. So I'll probably do it a little later and then send you a screenshot on the Telegram group.
Yeah. Yeah, so feel free, everybody. Hop on Stardom, and you don't actually have to be logged in to play the game.
Yeah.
You can go on and you can play it. You won't get your name on the leaderboard.
Right. That's true.
Yeah.
So we are in
Hold on a
almost
second.
50 minutes now.
Go to
Okay.
the bathroom.
So the final thoughts, like what's next from you? What can we expect next from you? Do we have another game coming up?
I had 2 other games kind of in the mix in the go, but I had to put those on the side for now because I've got another project that I can't speak of at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But news about that one will be coming out sooner than later. Most people already know about it. It's just they don't know about it.
Yeah, I mean, we all know about the Coin Master game because that was quite discussed in the chat multiple times on Silver World. That's something that you're actually building next. So
Yeah.
I was more asking towards, the Stardome after Cred Runner. So do you have any games upcoming for Stardome after Cred Runner?
Stardome,
Would there be any?
I am working on kind of a top-down, third-person twin stick kind of game.
Okay.
Yeah, but like I said, it's quite early, and I had to put a hold on that one for now for other priorities. So
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Stop it!
So, from your perspective, where do you see Stardome as in the upcoming next 1 or 2 years?
Sorry, what was that? I had kids making noises in the background.
Yeah, I was asking, in the next 1 or 2 years, where do you see Stardome be at from your perspective? Because you're both a casual
Well, I'm
gamer
hoping
or a
that-
normal gamer.
I'm
And
hoping
a
that once
developer.
the migration's finished and everything, people will be more
Mhm.
more incentivized to get in and actually play to earn. Because right now it's our old, like if you saw in top corner, I have like 1 million cred in there right now. That's the old cred.
Right.
Like, but I mean, but it's more or less it doesn't have a value to it at this point because it's our old cred
Mhm.
classic. Cred C.
Correct.
Cred C, $1. No. So I'm hoping that once in 2 years, once everything's kind of our marketing and stuff kicked in and people kind of become more aware of it. I don't know. I have hopefully because I'm hoping for some big things out of it. I mean, it's got a lot of potential. Like we'll just see what happens. It's a matter of just people actually wanting to go there and start playing the games. Really. So
Awesome.
I think the more people we have playing, the more we get it out there, the more people will draw on, and hopefully it'll be successful especially in 2-year period.
Great. Yep. I truly believe that as well, because I mean it's a space where you have a lot of options, in fact, and a lot of hyper casual games, not even normal casual games, hyper casual games. You can just be on a train or a metro and you could just go ahead and pop in. And I know skill gaming is also coming out with their own app, and probably once that's rolled out, I think we might see the same kind of iteration happening to Stardome as well. But just fingers crossed again. And once we have that, I mean, you could just basically pop up your tablet or your laptop while you're sitting in a metro or a train, and you just go about playing a couple of games. And who knows, if you're so skilled enough, or probably you have some luck on your side that day, you could definitely make some dollars just by sitting there and playing a game, right? So
Yeah.
and you have a lot of options as well. It's not like you're limited to 1 or 2 games as such. It's a lot of options that are available. At least for now, it's just those hyper casual games. But I'm really seeing that. I mean, I've quoted this multiple times as what I can say, my thought process on what I think on having indie developers brought into Stardome. And we could see some individual developers having their own set of games which are rolled out, and that uses cred as a currency inside the game. So I could see it blow out as a whole new what I can say, it's more like a consolidated marketplace of games, I would say. I mean, I wouldn't say marketplace, like a library. Okay, that's more better sounding if I want to put across, because we have Silvervolt as a marketplace, because that's where you get the assets. So I'll keep the marketplace for Silvervolt. But yeah, this is going to be a pretty big gaming library. I mean, it could be potentially, just saying, I mean, might be like a fanboy comment, but it could be the Steam of blockchain. So
it's got potential.
You don't know, possibilities are many. It depends on all the further partnerships, iterations, the kind of games that get in, and the kind of adoption that ideally happens. And now moving on to the Polygon side, I mean, from what I have seen, Polygon is actually having a lot of network activity, mainly because of 2 reasons. One is NFTs, and the second is GameFi. So if we really see that this project has that potential to go ahead and get some good eyes from the Polygon side as well, then this could blow up. This could blow up pretty big. Both Jet, Cred, and Stardome, and all the utilities, in fact, they could blow up pretty big. So that's something that I'm really hoping for as well. So let's see what's for us in the future. So that's it. I guess we'll end the stream here tonight, or tonight mine, and tomorrow morning for you right there. So I'm going to go let you enjoy the weekend with your family and the 2 kids out there.
Yeah.
They were very lovely.
No.
Thank you so much for joining in, Matt.
I can smell.
Just let me say bye to him. Is it that? Can you get him on?
Jackson,
Let's just say bye. Hey, bye-bye.
Yeah, he needs
Say
a
bye.
diaper change. He pooped. Gross.
Oh,
He pooped live on camera. No.
why did you even say that?
Because I have no filter.
He was looking at you that he was so angry, You know what? This is recorded on YouTube. And
Yeah.
the moment he gets that access to watch YouTube videos and he understands them, he would be seeing this.
Yeah, you're gonna see the one.
He'll be
time
like, Dad,
live on
why did you
screen.
even quote that I pooped in front of the camera, and that too in the live stream?
High five. Yeah.
All right,
fist bump.
see
Fist
you.
bump. Fist bump.
See you here.
Say bye.
Say bye-bye.
Say bye. Say
Bye.
bye. Bye. All right. Have a good
See
one.
you all, guys. Yeah.